You meet a man who seems detached, not shy, not nervous, not even trying to impress. He listens but doesn't lean in. He responds but doesn't invest. He can walk away without hesitation. And the strange part is, this kind of indifference often feels more powerful than attention. So you start wondering, why do some men seem completely unaffected by women or connection in general? The answer isn't always confidence. Sometimes it's something much deeper happening beneath the surface. At first glance, it can look like strength. Doesn't chase, doesn't overreact, doesn't seem emotionally dependent. But as you observe more closely, a pattern appears. There's distance, not just in behavior, but in emotional presence. Conversations don't go deep. Vulnerability is minimal. Connection feels limited. And when emotional moments arise, he may withdraw, change the subject, make a joke, or simply shut down. Over time, this creates confusion because you can't tell if he genuinely doesn't care or if he just doesn't know how to. And that difference matters because in many cases, this isn't about lack of emotion. It's about how emotion has been processed, suppressed, or reshaped over time. Here's the part most people misunderstand. Not caring is rarely the full story. In many cases, what looks like indifference is actually emotional detachment, a learned pattern, not a natural absence. Psychology shows that emotional detachment often develops as a form of protection, especially in environments where emotional expression was discouraged, ignored, or even punished. So instead of learning how to process feelings, the brain learns how to minimize them. This creates a person who appears unaffected, but internally, it's often something else. A system that learned, emotions complicate things, distance keeps things simple, and over time, that belief becomes automatic. But this leads to a deeper question. What actually happens inside the brain when someone becomes emotionally detached like this? The human brain is wired for connection, but it's also wired for protection. When emotional experiences feel overwhelming or unsafe, the brain adapts. One of the most common adaptations is linked to avoidant attachment. In this pattern, the nervous system reduces reliance on others to avoid emotional risk.
Instead of seeking closeness, the brain prioritizes self-sufficiency. Emotions are suppressed. Needs are minimized. Distance feels safer than dependence. This involves changes in how the brain processes emotional signals. The amygdala, which detects emotional intensity, may still activate, but the prefrontal cortex works to suppress expression and reduce awareness. Over time, this creates a disconnect. Feelings may still exist, but they are muted, controlled, or ignored. There's also another layer, a mental model we can call the emotional wall. Imagine a wall built slowly over time. Each disappointment, each rejection, each unresolved emotional experience adds another layer. Eventually, the wall becomes automatic, not something consciously built, but something always there. So when connection appears, it doesn't pass through easily, not because it isn't wanted, but because the system is designed to filter it out. This can look like lack of emotional response, disinterest in deeper connection, quick detachment after intimacy. But underneath, it's often a nervous system trying to avoid vulnerability. Understanding this pattern helps you respond more clearly. Not emotionally react, but interpret behavior accurately. Here are 4 key principles. 1. Distinguish detachment from confidence. True confidence allows connection. Detachment avoids it. Example, a confident person can engage, express, and still remain grounded. A detached person keeps emotional distance, regardless of the situation. This difference matters, because one builds relationships, the other limits them. 2. Don't try to unlock someone. It's easy to feel like if you say the right thing, or show enough care, they will open up. But emotional patterns like avoidance are self-protective systems, not locked doors. Example, you try to create deeper conversations. They deflect or disengage. This isn't something you can fix from the outside. Change only happens when the person becomes aware of their own pattern. 3. Watch consistency, not potential. Detached individuals can still show moments of warmth, moments of attention, even moments of vulnerability. But what matters is consistency. Example, if someone is present one day and distant the next, your brain may focus on the good moments. But psychology shows that inconsistent behavior creates confusion, not stability. Focus on patterns, not isolated moments. 4. Protect your emotional investment. The more you invest emotionally in someone who remains detached, the more imbalance develops. Example: you initiate conversations. You try to deepen connection. You carry the emotional weight. Over time, this can lead to emotional exhaustion. Healthy relationships involve mutual emotional participation, not one-sided effort. 6. Integration. When you step back, something becomes clear. What looks like not caring is often a combination of avoidant attachment patterns, emotional suppression, and learned self-protection. This doesn't mean the person is incapable of feeling. It means their system is designed to limit emotional exposure. And unless that system changes, the pattern tends to repeat. Not because of you, but because of how their brain learned to operate. There's a quiet clarity that comes from understanding this. You stop trying to interpret silence as mystery or distance as depth, and you begin to see behavior for what it is. Not potential, not hidden meaning, but pattern. Because real connection doesn't require you to guess how someone feels. It doesn't keep you at a distance while asking you to stay close. It meets you with presence, consistency, and emotional openness. And if someone can't offer that, the most important question isn't why they are that way. It's whether you're willing to stay in a connection that never fully opens.